We have all met her, the 1% woman. She walks in and you hear her before she even speaks. She's grounded, she's clear, she is magnetic. She is not chasing, she is building. She has a standard and she lives by it. This episode is not about being perfect, it is about becoming precise. Here are the top 10 traits that every 1% woman lives by, which you can implement today and completely become unrecognizable in just a few weeks. Number 1, she owns her night or she loses her day. The most underutilized but should be most optimized window for every woman is how you spend your night. We live in a culture where women are obsessed with the perfectly curated morning routines. It is not the morning routines, the skincare regimes, or the 5 a.m. wake-ups that are getting these women to 1%. It is making decisions in the day before that future version of self will be able to live and abide by. Women are innately built that they are over-analyzers, they make it overcomplicated, they compare to other people, and as soon as you open up the floodgates on your day, you are opening up yourself to failure. Own your night or lose your day. The most simple way to get yourself set up for the day before is the basics. Number 1, you do not close your eyes unless your day is fully scheduled out. Plan it out from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep, non-negotiables. Lay out your active wear. Know what you're going to be eating. Know when you're going to be educating. Know when you're going to have time with your loved ones and your friends and family. Setting yourself up in this capacity will not only create a whole new existence for you, but it's also going to ensure that you run on autopilot. You don't need to be making any more decisions. Let your schedule make your decisions for you. Take control of your calendar. It doesn't need to be perfect. You need to have fluidity in your structure. If something doesn't go to plan, that's okay. How do I pivot? How do I get back into the schedule? And how do I keep on moving forward? Progress over perfection. Being a realist that there are going to be some things some are out of your hands, and that's okay. Hyper fixating on what is within your control and what you can do with your life and your terms. We don't all have the same 24 hours in the day, and that's okay. But if you are looking to become the 1% of women, I'm telling you right now, they run off of schedules, they do not leave it to chance, they follow the plan and they get the job done. Which follows into number 2, she leads her time like a CEO. You need to flip your mindset that you are a CEO and that your time is precious and limited. Your time is your greatest currency in life, and you need to start recognizing where are you putting your time into. Are you putting your time into the things that are getting you one step closer towards your goal or one step further away? I would highly recommend for anybody that is unsure, track your time for a week. Have a look at what your screen time is. Have a look, how much time am I getting ready? Have a look, how much time am I spending on my workouts or commuting to the gyms or doing things around the house and doing mundane tasks around the house instead of blocking time in a more proficient way. Start recognizing that the way that you spend your time is going to be critical in getting you towards your goals. It doesn't matter if you're spending 5 minutes or 5 hours towards something that's getting you towards your goals. Remove the idea that it has to be hours and hours on day, and recognize that you can do the most with the time that you have. You just need to recognize where those window slots are. Maybe it is that you're substituting your nighttime scroll for working on your side hustle or getting educated or going for a walk around the block. Maybe it's that instead of commuting to the gym, you decide to do a home workout instead because that was wasting you an hour per day. So you juggle your times in a different way. Start blocking your time and be really, really aware that your time is the most important factor for you becoming the 1% woman. And I guarantee you right now, the 1% women aren't fucking around. They run to a schedule, they get the job done. And before you come at me with, I have kids, I have a job, I have things, factor it into your life, your schedule. Stop comparing to other people, stay in your lane, stay focused, and get it done. She does not ask, do I have time to do something? She asks, what do I need to protect to make this happen? Time doesn't control her, she controls time. She lives by the mantra, not me, not anymore, and she does not hold on to past identities and past versions of self. She is not inconsistent one, she is not the unorganized one, she is not the one that doesn't like to exercise, guys. She is not the one that doesn't have time to meal prep. She is not the one that doesn't protect her boundaries, and she relinquishes the idea that she is a person of the past, and she hyperfixates on the person that she is becoming. This is the basics of your hard rewiring and the easiest thing to implement into your every single day life. Not me, not anymore. I do not live my life held onto a past version of self. I focus on what does my highest version self do? What does my role model do? What would someone that I'm aspiring to be do in this circumstance? And she acts like that version instead of what she feels in that moment right now. You cannot become the future version of self. You cannot become a 1% woman if you are holding on to an identity that no longer aligns with your future. The 1% woman chooses a new identity and she lives by that identity shift. And when she catches herself in the mirror saying all of the nasty inner mean girl bitch about herself, not me, not anymore. She does not offload her hard. And this one is a hard one for oversharers and for women in general, that they want other people to feel their hard with them. She doesn't make her struggles someone else's responsibility. She asks to herself, what can I control right now? And this is the most important factor of it all. There are going to be so many things out of your control in life. You cannot control the universe. You can control the way that you respond. So instead of making it other people's problems, instead of venting to other people, instead of offloading onto other people and looking for sympathy and looking to be a victim of your circumstances, pivot your mindset to what can I control in this moment, and watch how your days change in a different capacity. People are gonna be shitty. Life is gonna happen. Bills are gonna come in. The weather is gonna be out of your control. You cannot control external factors. You can control how you respond. And as soon as you start taking active responsibility and hyperfixating on those things every single day, you will pivot extremely quickly. Women often talk about yo cycling, coming out of motivation, not feeling like doing the things that they need to. When you start focusing on what you can control in life, that's when you are going to be motivated the whole entire time, because you're not relying on motivation, you are relying on discipline. She moves her body daily, non-negotiable. You are blocking in your workouts like an appointment that if you get cancelled, you get charged. Exercise is the anchor for everything that you do. When I talk about my brand, Feel Good Naked, the reason that you feel good naked is because you look good naked. And people and women who look after themselves and care for their body and show up consistently with any type of movement, let's normalize, all movement counts, you are gonna hold yourself in a very different capacity. Self-care is self-respect. And when you start self-respecting yourself more, you will start showing up in a different way. When you notice people that are in the 1%, they go to the gym every single day. They do it early in the morning. They do it when the kids are asleep. They do it in their lunch breaks. They make it work in their life, in their terms. They adapt when they need to. They pivot. But most of all, they are consistent. Movement is not optional. It is your emotional regulator. And it is how you check in with yourself. When you do hard things in the gym, you can do hard things in real life. It's a mirror. And it is your reminder that you can do hard things daily. She commits to one act of self-care every single day. It does not need to be complicated. It does not need to take long. One act of self-care every single day. It is not a luxury, it is discipline. And she doesn't rely on me time. She creates it in her schedule and her routine that this moment reminds her of the high value woman that she is, and that she deserves a seat at the table of the 1% women. She creates a moment that grounds her every single day. Walk, skincare, breathe, meditate, journal, declutter spaces. One moment can make a monumental impact on your whole day and mood. And particularly for my moms who are feeling that they have been deprioritized in life, I'm telling you right now, that's your anchoring point. Pick one act of self-care, completely yours. Whatever you want to do, it's yours for the taking. She habit stacks to create momentum. She does not try and do it all. She links new habits to current ones. Stack, repeat, anchor. And she builds success through rhythm, not chaos. Habit stacking is the most simple way for busy women to make sure they're getting the job done. It might be on your drive to work that you listen to one of your educational podcasts. Maybe while you are getting your steps in, you are listening to an educational course, or you're listening to an audiobook. Maybe you're taking your meetings when you're going for a walk instead. Maybe while you are doing your skincare, you are posting a get ready with me video because that's great for your business page. Whatever it is, start thinking about how you use your time and utilize that time. And I'm not encouraging that you're multitasking yourself into oblivion and you're so stressed and overwhelmed because you're trying to do so many things at once. I'm talking about the times where maybe you do have a lot of time to just lean into it, that you utilize that space. For me personally, when I am getting ready in the morning, I always watch a YouTube video, or I will do voice memos to my clients. I multitask when I'm curling my hair or I'm straightening my hair. I'm often doing voice memos to clients. Yes, it's multitasking. However, I make sure that when I'm doing focused work, it's focused work. When I'm doing tasks that somewhat could be utilized, I utilize those times. She eats with alignments with her goals. She is not winging it with food. Again, going back to number one, it is planned, it is organized, and it is thought out well. She knows her numbers, she understands her triggers, and she plans ahead. Super important. She does not eat to escape. She eats to support her future. She tracks with awareness and not obsession, with the long-term plan to not be tracking forever. I think it's really important for women to have an active responsibility over their nutrition, and instead of falling into the toxic diet culture, understand premium fuel going into the engine is going to make you perform and show up in a different capacity. If you want your skin to glow, if you want your hormones to get into balance, if you want to feel full and satisfied, if you want to stop binge cycling and you want to finally get the body of your dreams, you will start taking control and awareness of nutrition. And if you have no idea where to start and you keep on yo-yo cycling, get a coach, get somebody to help you in this area, and get educated. Education is key to all of these pieces. She follows the plan, not her mood. Words to live and breathe by. Follow the plan, not your mood. But if you do not even have a plan to start off with, your number one step is to get a plan. So many people have goals, vision boards, Pinterest boards, but they don't even have a plan to get to that point. You need to be able to take your long-term goal and dissect it into incremental steps that every single day that you are working towards getting to that body. You want the body of your dreams. You want the money in the bank account. You want to have a great thriving business. You want an amazing relationship. You want to show up, hold yourself in a different capacity. You need plans to get there. You cannot just wing it. You cannot just pin it on Pinterest. You cannot just stick it on your back of your phone screen and expect it to happen. A goal without a plan is just a wish, and we ain't genies. We are here to make goals a reality. She doesn't choose motivation. She shows up regardless of emotion. Feelings are acknowledged, but discipline always wins. I can think back to so many times of my existence where I allowed my emotion dictate the tone of my life. It is easy to play victim of your circumstances. It is easy to give up to your goals, but it is short-term suffering of feeling uncomfort for a really long term of growth and happiness and joy. So start recognizing you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. She respects her presentation and acts like her future self. She dresses with purpose. She moves with intention. She treats each day like the woman she already wants to be, her future self, because she knows identity isn't something that she finds, it's something that you embody. One of my favorite rules to live and breathe by when I'm trying to do a decal of my wardrobe is I pick it up and I say to myself, if I died in this outfit today, would I be okay with that? If it isn't a fuck yes, it's a fuck no, and it has to go. You have to live and breathe every single day like it is your last on this earth. Showing up in that capacity, start wearing the clothing that the women that you aspire to be. You don't need to spend heaps of money. Pinterest board it. Use people for motivation, for inspiration. Find your rhythm, find your groove. But most of all, making sure that you are showing up like the version you want the rest of the world to see you as. It takes time for people to understand that you are a higher version of self, or you are a future version of self, but you can bridge that with the way that you show up and the way that you present yourself, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you dress in your clothing, how your body looks, how you walk into rooms with your presence and confidence. Confidence is earned by you making promises to yourself and following through with those promises. And every single one of these ones in the 1% woman routine are all of the things that are going to make sure that you are able to hold yourself in that capacity. You make promises to yourself, you follow through, and that's how you build true confidence in life. The 1% woman isn't special. She is structured. She's clear, she's consistent, and my best suggestion is to pick one trait, anchor from it, and build from there. And remember that if you keep on acting like the 99%, you will never be the 1%. You want to be the 1%. And if you loved this conversation and you want the blueprint of becoming the 1% woman, this is what I'm here to help with. The 1% woman routine is now available in my app. The exact protocol and blueprint is in the app. All of the tips that I have just given you, all of the 10 non-negotiables are in the app. I make it so easy to become the 1% that you are going to be baffled when you come out of the 40-day experience. You have check-ins with me, you have high-level accountability, someone breathing down your throat to make sure that you are that 1%, and you have someone that is so committed in you getting your goals, even more than you are yourself, that you get the job done. The most difficult things about the 1% woman is old habits, old traits, old identity. It is my job as your coach to get rid of that identity and to replace it with a future version of self, and I do it over and over again until I get those results. And the women that I'm working with, the women that are transforming their lives, they're getting the body, the bank account, the businesses, the friendships, homes, travel, all of these things are the women that are following this type of blueprint. They commit to the plan, they follow the plan, not their mood, and they get the job done. And the reason that they're following the plan is because even when life gets chaotic and they feel stressed and they're overwhelmed, they have someone there every single step of the way to make sure that they follow through. And it's okay in life to realize, you know what, I'm finding it hard to do it by myself. I'm struggling. I'm not being compliant to it. I'm not getting it done. It's okay not to feel okay. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. However, nothing changes if nothing changes. And you need to have people in your circle, in your network that are pushing for you to be your highest version of self. And I think that one of the best things that I've ever learned in my whole career in life is making sure that you're at the right tables to rapidly learn. This is a perfect example of being at the right table, connecting with someone who you might not necessarily connect with every single day, and is going to be your ultimate hype girl and believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Because let's be real, most of our friends, family, and people around us aren't going to be the biggest hype girls of all time. And sometimes all you just need is someone to believe more in yourself. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you want to hit subscribe below or click the link below, and let's get started on your journey today. Day one or one day, you decide. 1% woman or 99%. It's your choice.